Waves crash against a rocky shore. Rain spatters against the white caps of the Ingnasian Sea. Gulls call from the cliffside, upset at the weather and wind as it pulls at their nests. This is the Isle of Merida. In a small hut on the coast of the southwest of Ingnasian territory, Ulric Von Pask, questing knight of Her Majesty's army, scouts for pirates. The Ingnasian army had sent him here almost a week ago on a contract, hopeful that it could restore reputation, honor, perhaps even family. Ulric arrived at the small hut with naught but the pack on his back and a description of a pirate fleet, meant to wait and wait until a sign of black sails on the horizon came. It's about midday, and you're in this small hut. It's got like a cot against one wall and a desk with what you are familiar with is a telegram machine to send messages back to the Kingdom of Ingnasia. You've got windows you can overlook where the cliffs come out over the sea, and you can see into the western horizon.
On this island,
Yes.
are there any inhabitants or any sort of centers of population?
Very few, mostly scavengers, wanderers. There is a lighthouse just outside of your hut that is occasionally maintained by people, but very few people here. If we're looking at the map, it's this island. Sorry, this island right here.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. And what do I know of this island in terms of pirate activity, Ignasian activity?
Make a history check with advantage.
Okay. And is my role here just to scout for pirates, or am I allowed to? Okay.
It's kind of like you know that it's a little bit of grunt work.
Yes. Yeah.
It's okay. A 12. You've taken this on because it's given to you directly by the army, which for you, you know, is a big deal. But the actual work itself is, they could show up. The pirates might show up. The information that you have is very slight, and yeah, with that roll, it's about all you get.
Yeah. Okay,
the actual island itself is all like jungle for the most part, really deep vegetation behind you. You've done a little bit of walking around the area. There's lots of actually food and fresh water available here too.
Okay, fantastic. I think I would probably move and check out the lighthouse and see if anyone's there. If not, probably break in and then try and climb to the top and inspect it.
You kind of head out of this hut, and it's a little bit chilly, the ocean side here. And the lighthouse is this very simple white wooden structure. It goes up and it has a stone top. And you would know from a little bit of investigating that up top there is a burning flame kept lit by oil. So the maintenance that they do is they come and they replace the oil. So there's like a small wooden door at the bottom of this lighthouse, and go to try it and it's locked.
Yeah, I'd go up to the door. Boom. Hello?
Knock on the door. No response.
No response. Is it locked on the outside?
Yes.
Okay. I'd just inspect the lock, if that's okay.
Okay. It's like an iron lock with a hole for like a skeleton key.
Okay. I think I would like to quickly just look around, double check there's no one in the immediate vicinity.
Perception check.
That one.
It's the sound of the waves and the rain. They kind of are covering a lot of nearby sound. And in terms of like looking around, there is not a soul. You are the only person for
As
maybe
far as
on
that
this
I
whole
can
damn
see.
island. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. I think sort of hunching over the lock, trying to peer around. It's not typically not something that I would do, but given that I'm a little bit cold, maybe, and I want a better vantage point, and this is Ignasian territory anyway, and I have a potentially have a replacement lock with me. I'll just pull out one of my hand axes and try and either jam the lock, break the lock, anything along those lines.
Okay, make a strength check.
Okay. Athletics check.
Sure.
13. Damn, low rolls so far. Low
You've,
rolls.
I told you that everyone had been rolling well in their one shots,
Hmm.
and you took that
Yeah, yeah,
personally.
yeah. They've taken all the luck.
You go to jam this hammer into the lock, and fortunately, it's quite an old building, and it's been kind of rusted through by the salt coming off the ocean. So you're able to just one break in, and
Taken.
door is open.
Fantastic. With one hand on the door, I'll just sort of steady it so it doesn't swing either way. So I put my hand axe away, looking at the shattered lock on the floor. I will replace that, and I'll move in
Oh,
to the lighthouse.
Okay. That voice is going to be so hard. So hard for me to deal with. You get into this lighthouse, and it's this very simple, what you know as Surakian steel spiral staircase that goes up to a platform. It's quite skinny in here. And how big
Yeah.
is Ulric? Actually, would you describe him?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ulrich is quite not necessarily a mountain of a man, but he's definitely very much 6 foot, very broad shouldered, very broad shouldered. Looks like has more of an appearance of potentially like a well-fed farmhand more than a soldier. He's not particularly well maintained, although his hair is shaved to a stubble. Walks with sort of a hunch, I would say, as if he's sort of carrying a weight with him, and he's got sort of quite wet, sad-looking eyes. But in terms of his actual size and width, yeah, he is a pretty sizable man.
Okay. As you come into the lighthouse and kind of press up against there's stone on the inside. Um, there's torchlight. We get a good look at his kind of gruff-looking exterior, and you are quite taking up quite a bit of space in this lighthouse. It's quite cramped.
Yeah.
Would you like to go up the stairs?
I would, if there's nothing immediate in front of me, no
Make an investigation
hatch.
check.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Broke the streak. We got a natural 20 on the board.
Yeah.
You look around and you don't see any hatches or anything like that, but you do find a crate of general supplies, like rations and rope and water skins and sleeping bags, a tent. And roll a d10 as well.
Absolutely. 10.
You find 10 sacks of copper.
Okay. Very nice.
They each have 25 copper in them.
Fantastic. Okay, perfect. Could come in handy. So whack someone with them.
Sacks of copper. Love improvised weapon. Okay, so you head up the stairs?
Yes, please.
Okay. You head up and the stairs kind of squeak beneath your boots. You get to the top of this platform, and you can't actually really go up to stand on it. It's really just a like vestibule to refill the oil in the lamp. So you're able to kind of get like your one shoulder and your head up, and then you can kind of see out into the sea. It gives you a fantastic view. and actually you think to yourself this could be a good place to scout in the future.
Mhm.
You can like it's a quite a clear day today. There's not enough. You have clouds over top with the rain, but there's not a lot of fog over the sea. So you're able to kind
Mhm.
of see out almost all the way to Wind Peak. It's really not as far as it seems on the map here.
Mhm. Okay. Oh yes, of course. Okay, fantastic. I think yeah, that direction I'll probably do more of my looking in because maybe pirates heading towards Wind Peak. If there's nothing else here, I'll probably go back into my small sort of watchman's hut, deposit my gold and the supplies that I won't need to take with me. Or my gold, my
Okay,
copper,
take that.
and not and then deposit the tent and everything like that. Maybe make my living a little bit more comfortable. Uh, Write a small diary entry of what I found and my experience so far,
Okay.
and then would I know of, or would I have been told before coming here of anyone on the island worth speaking to or anything worth investigating?
Make a um make a perception check for me as
Hmm.
you kind of are going about your day here.
Hmm.
Um, in terms of other people on the island,
Hmm.
yay, another natural one.
Mm.
Um, in terms of other people on the island, you do know that there is a small settlement of like one or two huts on the
Mm.
northern shore. You're at the southern shore.
Hmm.
Um, you could walk there in a couple of hours.
Hmm.
Um, throughout the day, you really don't notice much going around at the hut, and you find
Mm.
yourself battling a little bit with boredom, and you take your
Mm.
notes and you kind of pace in the hut a little bit. Maybe what are
Yeah.
some other boredom activities that Ulric would
Mm.
do?
What would he do? He would probably either continue writing or maybe practice drills, practice footwork on the
Hmm.
beachfront on the sand outside. Potentially, he would keep going up and down the staircase, just constantly, almost in an agitated state, just trying to will maybe a ship of some kind into existence. Potentially, he would. It's a telegram I have, so I can send messages
You
back
can
and
send messages. Yeah,
can I receive messages with
you can.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd probably just be sending reports to the Coast Guard around the Ignasian, the main island of the
Okay.
coast, saying, "Have you heard any ship movements, anything like that?" Just almost to a pestering degree, I would say.
Okay. Sounds good. You do some drills. You keep yourself busy as much as you can. It does eventually warm up a little bit throughout the late afternoon. Gets a little bit
Mhm.
humid. You send several messages reporting 1 p.m. rainy,
Mhm.
1:05 p.m.
Yes.
rainy, no
Yeah.
ships. You do receive a message back. Or you expect like around dusk ish.
Mhm.
Um, that says no movement on the west side, east side, pirates near the red depth.
Okay. That would be the red depth if I quickly check my map.
There's also a map of
Okay.
Root Coast in this hut.
Oh, fantastic. So I would know sort of accurately where to go. I think in that case, do I have something to make a fire with me? Like a tinderbox or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. There would
Okay.
be supplies in this hut for you.
Mm. I'd definitely take something to make fire with, and probably three of those bags of copper, and I would probably move towards the western coast or the coast, eastern coast. Apologies,
Okay.
eastern coast.
Okay. You load up with a couple of supplies. Take
Hmm.
a torch with you in case you need it.
Hmm.
Um, and your stomach kind of gives a little bit of a growl as you
I
make your
would
way
I'd
to the
eat
eastern
I'd,
coast.
I'd eat before I left.
Okay.
Get
You
some energy in me.
get some food, get some protein. You hit your
Mm.
macros. Would you roll a perception check? You go to the
Yeah, of
eastern
course.
coast.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
As you kind of walk along the coastline, you hear a little bit of a strange noise. Um,
Mhm.
you hear, it sounds like something in distress. It sounds like a little bit of a
Mhm.
groan. It's like, ah,
Mhm.
ah. And it sounds like it's coming from in the jungle to the
Mhm.
west, to your left.
Okay. I think I would probably, upon hearing this, draw one of my hand axes, I think, and hold it near the head of it. Keep it low by my side and probably pursue this noise, I would say.
Okay, good. You make your way through the jungle of the Isle of Merida, and
Mhm.
you chop away at some of the vegetation with your hand axe and crawl through. And you can see you see this quite from far away because it's a fairly large creature.
Mhm.
It is gray and almost like a even looks like it has a dark green tinge to it. Has this outer shell. It kind of looks like a giant turtle.
Mhm.
Um, has four stumpy legs and uh, like almost horn-like edges coming off of
Mhm.
its back shell and its face.
Mhm.
It has a long tail with a nub on the end. And I'll have you make a nature check.
Okay. 3.
Unfortunately, you've not done a
No
lot
idea.
of reading up on animals, but you do know that this is some type of dinosaur.
Okay.
Um,
Very cool.
yes, and its back leg is caught in a steel bear trap,
Oh, okay. Interesting.
and that's why it's
I
making this
think.
noise.
Mm, I think I would make calming, slow gestures as I would sort of move up to it. If I can sort of soothe it, then I would try to, almost like you're trying to soothe a dog. Um, and I would then probably put my hand axe away, and then again, maybe 2 meters away from it, just move round towards the leg, which has been caught in this bear trap.
Okay, make an animal handling check.
Hmm.
Try to calm this beastie.
Yeah. 14.
So you you get a little bit closer to the dinosaur, and it looks like it's been fighting against this bear trap for a little while. So it looks like it is a little bit tired, but
Hmm.
still looking a little aggressive as you approach towards it. Kind of huffs and when this fog of breath comes out of its mouth, and the armor plating on its back, he keeps shifting back and forth, and the trees around you kind of jumble together. But
Hmm.
you manage to get close enough. You get about, you said about 2 meters away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then just on its sort of periphery, and then I'll move in towards its wounded leg.
Okay, it kind of sees that you're going where you're going. It's following you with these beady
Mm.
eyes, and it allows you to approach, seemingly.
Hmm. Still moving very slowly. I'll lean down and inspect the trap, see sort of what design it is, how best I would disarm it.
It's Do you have any tool proficiencies?
I don't believe I do, unfortunately. No, I don't. Apart from land vehicles and dice, that's
Okay.
about as far as I go.
Okay. Um, you take a look at this trap. You immediately know that it's Surakian steel. Just you
Hmm.
recognize this. It The wound itself, it's deep into the hard kind of skin of this dinosaur, um, and it looks like it's been there for at least a couple days because it's like
Mm.
festering the wound a little bit.
Mm.
The trap itself, you kind of look it over. You don't really know a lot about. bear traps. You know a little bit about them. You figure it can be ripped, it can be torn apart to open it.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I do. I'll bend down, try and get a good purchase on it, avoiding the wound as I can. Forgive us. We have done you a dishonor here. And slowly try and pull the bear trap open.
All right, make an athletics check.
No! Oh my god! 3 nat ones!
Oh my god.
Best.
What's your armor class?
My armor class is 18. No, 16, because I wouldn't have my shield with me.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
16. Oh, that's the
16.
That's the difference between.
Yes.
being
Sorry.
You try to open this trap, and it just snaps right back onto the dinosaur's leg, and it immediately, its tail, you see it last second, the bulb of it hits you right across the head, and you are going to take. Hang on a second here. Oh. 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
14.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, that's fine.
I need you to make a strength saving throw as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 14.
You feel yourself like kind of teeter over for a second, not expecting the absolute wallop from this tail.
Yeah.
But you manage to come back, albeit a little dazed.
Absolutely. I would probably go straight back in. Sorry, a little bit nervous.
It kind of.
Just gonna try one more time.
Make another strength check.
Okay, there we go. That's more like it.
Okay, good. The DC went up. Great. You lean down and kind of readjust your position a little bit, shaking away the hit from the dinosaur, and you just bear down on this trap, and you yank it apart and free the leg of the dinosaur, who immediately kind of limps forward and tries to go, but isn't able to move quickly.
Okay. Is there... I'll leave the trap for a second. Just want to quickly... is there any way I can try and feed the animal and then try and dress the wound, or at least wash it out, or anything like that?
You can definitely try it. Make a perception check as and make an animal handling check as well.
Perception, 13, and animal handling, a 9. Bugger me.
As you're trying to kind of talk down this dinosaur, and you take out a ration, or what are you taking out to try to feed it?
Yeah, it'd be a ration, maybe a piece of an egg, maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
I've hard boiled.
You've got a hard-boiled egg. You break it in half.
Shell it. Oh no, shell and all. It's the calcium.
Okay. You offer it an egg. Can I offer you an egg?
An egg in these trying times.
God. Oh no. You offer it an egg, and it kind of looks at you, and it like looks a little disoriented, and tries to kind of walk away and kind of veers off into a tree. And as you're trying to do this, and you've got this egg in your hand, you hear something to the south of you, to your right, something in the trees moving.
Okay, I would immediately spin, egg in one hand, now half axe in the other. Actually, no, I should have my mace with me, so I'll pull out that, and try and see whatever is coming for me. Still keeping half an eye on the dinosaur as well.
Okay, you pull out your mace and the egg in your other hand.
Yeah.
Two people actually come out of the jungle. They make themselves visible to you. And you can see they are wearing dark, weathered leather armor. One of them is a tiefling. He's got horns that are coming out of a ripped hood. And the other one appears to be human. And they're both kind of wearing like tied bandanas over their mouths.
Mhm.
And they look quite thin and
Mhm.
starving, and like
Mm.
they've been outside for a while. One of them
Mm.
is holding a bow and arrow and
Mhm.
pointing it at the dinosaur.
Mhm.
The other one has a sword out and is looking at you. And the human says to you, "We just want the meat. Step back, soldier."
Do you have a permit to hunt here?
Permit? You have a permit to hunt here?
No, but I did not come here to hunt. And I'll look down at the trap. That is no way to hunt either.
It worked.
Not until I came.
You let
And
it go.
I let it live. And I'll hand the egg. Or gesture the egg forward.
Oh,
And who are you two?
they kind of look at each other and look a little confused for a moment. The human kind of shakes his head. And make a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm. I'm not terribly persuasive. No, not terribly persuasive at all.
Not terribly persuasive. Um, check something. Okay. Um, as you reach out this egg, they exchange glances and they make some type of non-communicative, non-verbal communicative gesture to each other, and the tiefling lets loose the arrow and strikes the dinosaur. And I'm going to drop some tokens on the map here.
Absolutely.
Let me try that. Sorry, this makes everything really slow.
That's okay. Absolutely fine. I'm
turmoil he's experiencing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Is there something you would like to do?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So I think what I would... Did I put the egg away? Fuck. I'm gonna throw the egg at the archer,
Okay.
and as I do that, I'm going to draw my other hand axe and move towards an area of cover near the dinosaur. So essentially, it goes. A coward's weapon. Throw, draw, action roll. Just try and put some a little bit of space between them, and maybe try and get in some cover, a tree or a bush or something like that.
Okay. Okay. Make an attack roll, and add your strength.
Just make a strength check.
Yeah.
15.
Okay. So that does hit. Roll a d4.
Two. Bit of shell in the eye.
Okay. This egg hits the archer like right in the chest, and just like the shell actually is quite impactful. I mean, eggshells are they're hard. They're powerful.
Yeah.
They hit him like right in the chest, and the wind almost gets knocked out of him. Poof, and he kind of looks down in confusion, but like rubs his chest like, ow. And you duck over to get some cover behind the dinosaur or behind the tree?
Sort of behind trees, yeah. Behind trees,
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good. We're gonna roll for initiative
somewhere.
now.
Yeah, somewhere near the dinosaur.
Okay. Now. Whoa.
12.
Whoa. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, sorry. Do you mind deleting the 4 and the 3?
Yeah, only delete the low ones, okay, DM?
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah, sorry. The only one I saw was a 12 actually. That was the first one. And then I think it auto rolled the others.
We'll go with the 12. Okay, so this guy is gonna go first. Where's your token? You're
Yeah,
over
do you
here.
mind? Yeah.
Okay.
That's sorry, this guy. Do you mind deleting the guy with the hat? I look far more imposing.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I'd say you're about here. Behind a tree, maybe like here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sure.
This guy is gonna run for you. It is gonna be difficult terrain here.
Mhm.
Just because of the amount of jungle. So he's only gonna be able to move 15 feet.
Mhm.
He's gonna try to line up with you here.
Mhm.
And he's gonna take a shot. He takes out crossbow. Can you take out a crossbow and shoot it on the same round?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, he's gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, if you need to drop what he's holding if
Oh,
he's
it's
not
one.
holding anything.
Okay, he drops his scimitar at his side, and he grabs a crossbow from his back and makes an attack against you. You said 16?
16. Yeah.
That is
Do I
going.
get cover?
Yeah,
'Cause,
actually. So would it be disadvantage then?
It's +2 to my AC, I
Plus
would
2.
say, because it's
So
there's
that
no way
would
I'm
be
in.
18.
Mhm.
Yeah. Still gonna hit.
That's fine.
That could have made the difference, but
Yeah,
this
it's
arrow is almost like he lines right up with where you are, and he did see you duck behind this. So he kind of lines up the shot, and it manages to kind of snake through this vegetation and just bounce off your shoulder. You're gonna take 7 points piercing damage.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to definitely. Oh, sorry. It might not be my turn.
It is your turn.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to start off by second winding with my bonus action.
Okay.
So I'm going to heal 12 hit points, which is very fortunate.
Very nice.
And this is difficult terrain in front of me, isn't it?
Yes. There's kind of a little bit of a clearing where the bear trap was. Like if you want to go this way.
Yeah, no. That's absolutely fine, absolutely fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, I'm going to move towards him with my full movement, because there'll be 30 feet with difficult terrain, if that's okay with you. And as I move forward, I'd like to look at the other one, just as I'm running, and just see if they both look like dead set on violence.
Make an insight check.
Yeah. Insight's not too bad. 10.
To you, they seem pretty aggressive and mostly starving. They seem like they could be even on the point of like madness.
Okay, perfect. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run up to this one, and then with my hand axe, I'm going to make an attack for a 6. So that's going to miss. What I'm going to do though is I'll be charging up, charging attack. I'm going to let go of it as I finish the attack, swoop up and use my free object interaction to grab his scimitar off the floor.
Okay.
And then I'm going to end my turn, because that's all my action's done.
Okay, sounds good. So, at first you kind of get that stamina back from your second win, and you come up from your hiding spot and you charge forward through this jungle, not much care for the vegetation around you, rip through, and you swing with this axe, and he manages to duck out of the way. He sees you coming like a train in the night, and you drop the hand axe and you grab his scimitar easily. You now have this scimitar in your hand.
Okay, fantastic.
That's a +3 to hit on this. Okay, it's the other bandit's turn. The tiefling is actually just gonna stay. They're kind of looking at your capability here, looking at your armor, and they take a step back here, and they're gonna take another shot with the crossbow. And that is not going to hit. They cock up the crossbow and it just zooms by your head.
Fantastic.
It's the other guy's turn now. And he has no scimitar. He has a crossbow, but it'll be a disadvantage. So he's going to try. He tries to set up with the crossbow and you're right there and he just goes way wide. Your
Fantastic. So we're in the melee.
Actually, he's going to try to walk. He's going to try to run away. But you can take an opportunity attack.
Absolutely, yeah. For nat 1, blood. That's 4 nat 1s. 4 nat 1s. Oh my god.
He kind of like tries to crawl backwards, and it makes it really difficult to hit him because he's crawling through this jungle floor, and your mace kind of gets tangled in some of these. You would have the scimitar in your hand, though. Do you have two weapons?
I do.
You do.
I don't. No, I do the scimitar in that hand, but that's just a reaction, so it's just a single attack.
But you would attack with the scimitar.
No, it's just one attack, sadly. Is the scimitar +3 weapon?
Yeah, but you would have it in your hand, right?
Yes.
You have both the mace and the scimitar in your hand?
Yes, yeah, mace is one-handed.
Okay, so you have the mace over here, and you have the scimitar over here and here. Okay, I was just clarifying which you were attacking.
No.
Yeah, okay.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah.
So you attack with the mace, and it kind of gets tangled in the vegetation, actually.
Yes.
And the bandit manages to crawl away from you a little bit.
Absolutely. Did you say the scimitar was a +3 scimitar?
It's a +3 to your hit, not a +3 scimitar.
Okay.
That's just the stats that it has.
Okay, I see. Oh, I'm with you. Okay. My turn. I'm going to see him sort of in the melee, fires up, dashes back. Just as I swing it, it's all caught up. I'm going to rip it free. Look to him. We don't have to kill each other. And then as I walk forward up towards him under my breath, but I can't say I don't like that option. As I Pajonace and try and whack him over the head with it again
Okay. Attack
for
roll.
a 15.
That hits.
Okay, fantastic. Big damage.
Big damage.
So I rolled a 3. I'm not going to re-roll that for 9 damage. Non-lethal, if it's looking lethal.
Not quite, but you come down on this whoops. Whoa, excellent. You come down onto this bandit with your mace, and you really give him a good hit across the head here, to the point where he staggers and kind of steps back. Blood starting to come out of the side of his face here. He's quite injured.
I'm going to action surge, and I'm going to hit him again.
Okay.
Again, non-lethally.
Let's see.
For a 16.
Okay, yeah, that hits again.
For, oh my days, for 11 damage.
Yes.
Non-lethal as well, if I can.
Are you hitting him with the spiky part?
No, I'd say I'm more just like punching him. So it went bang, and then maybe I hit him on the back end.
Okay.
The back of it.
Okay. I was going to say, that amount of damage with the spiky end is going to be difficult to be non-lethal. But you managed to, after you hit him the first time, you kind of reel back and give him a good clunk, and he goes down, like straight flat onto his back. You're actually not sure if he is alive or dead.
Dead or, yeah.
The other bandit kind of looks at you with fear, and it is their turn.
It is.
They are going to take a shot at you. Very nervous and panicky, and not sure what to do. And their crossbow is going to demonstrate that as it flies in the wrong direction, and he's going to try and run away. Whoops. Not there.
Damn, okay, what to do?
Dead. Well,
is he
he
dead?
might be alive.
Oh,
you have to check.
Yeah,
I'll go. 0 HP at the moment.
Okay, I'll go up to him, and God, I've got a predicament now. Fuck it, I'm chasing after that guy. I'm chasing after him.
Okay.
So is it still difficult terrain where I am?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 10, 20, 30.
You can make it.
So I can make it there. Grapple. I'm going to try and grapple him. So it would be contested. 21 versus his acrobatics. Acrobatics or athletics, you can choose.
Yeah, it does.
Whoa, okay.
You managed to grab this tiefling.
And I'll just grab this tiefling. I don't.
Grappling would be your action, right?
Yes, no, of course. Oh, I can't do anything else. Yeah, I can't do anything. I'm just trying to think what to sort of say. Stop!
Okay. You're like holding this tiefling by the shoulders, and as you kind of get closer, you can see this is actually a woman underneath this bandit garb. Again, looking quite emaciated. And she, as you come up to her and you grab her and you say, "Stop!" she just screams. She goes, "Ah!" and she drops the crossbow, but she's grappled, right? So she's
so she half movement. I think it's half movement, or
she's just gonna try and get out of it again. So make another check here.
Oh, bugger! Oh shit!
You're just like naturally so much stronger than this 80-pound tiefling. You just she tries and it's fruitless.
See, what would have been fantastic is if I helped them take down the beast, but I just can't. I can't do that. Are you familiar with these islands?
She kind of looks you over. She looks at her companion on the ground. Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yeah. 5.
Okay. She says, I don't know what you're talking about. And she tries to... Actually, it'd be your turn now. Be your
It
turn.
would be, so I'm gonna try and put her on the floor.
Okay. Okay. Easily.
Easily. I have food and supplies. If you answer my questions, I will let you live. Your companion there is dying. So speak quickly.
Okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage now.
16, okay.
She kind of like looks at you with these wide yellow eyes. She nods. Okay.
And I think the first thing I would do is I would, still grabbing her by the wrist, go over and check on the other guy.
Okay. All right. So
And I think while I'm doing this as well, just because I want to try and immediately start building rapport, I would, whatever rations I brought with me, I probably would bring more than an egg. I'll give to her and make it look like I'm obviously trying to stabilize the guy.
okay, I'm gonna drop the initiative order. You pass over some rations to her, and she immediately devours them. At this point, the Ankylosaurus, the dinosaur, has tried to limp its way out of this battle and has made its way away a little bit, but it hasn't gotten very far because of its injuries and its state.
Yeah, I think I've intervened with, because he would hate the idea of hunting creatures like that with traps and bows. It's really dishonoring, but I think at that point he would just leave it. He's intervened on its behalf enough, and his focus would be talking to these two, getting some information about fleets and that what
Okay.
not.
The tiefling immediately devours the rations that you give her, and you can make a medicine check to try and bring this guy back up.
Could you give me a hand?
The tiefling kind of looks up from ripping apart meat jerky. She's, I can try. She kind of forward.
Do you care for his well-being?
I'd say he cares for mine more so.
Very well. And I'll 17.
So you can have advantage because she helps you. It's helping.
Okay. Okay. I'll roll again.
Nice,
Okay,
worth it.
Nice. Okay, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. He, the bandit on the ground, he's kind of reeling from these shots to the head, and you guys manage to clear away some of the blood and give him a little bit of water and bandage up his forehead, and he eventually comes up and comes to and kind of looks at you with fear as his eyes open. Did we... What happened?
You lost. But relax for now. And I'll turn up to the tiefling. And I have a printout of the pirate flag that I'll put this insignia as the pirates or pirates I'm looking for, yeah? That'd be fair to say.
You know what the flag looks like. You don't have an actual
Okay. I would
thing.
then that's fine. I think then either through drawing in the ground or through sort of slow, detailed explanation, I would ask, I'm looking for these pirates. They're said to have set sail around these parts. Tell me what you know of them.
The tiefling kind of looks at her bandit partner and looks at you, and she says, "Pirates don't get this far usually. Not if they're coming from the east."
And that is where they typically sail?
Yeah, they all come from Golden Tooth's coast. I mean, if they're gonna come from the west, that means they came all the way around the entire island to get here. Yes, it's possible. I don't know.
So it is east you would look.
For pirates, yeah. I've never seen these guys you're talking about.
See, at this point, I'm here, aren't I?
Yes.
Yes. So to me, yeah, from what you said earlier, it would seem like this is a fucking bum gig, because there's no way in hell pirates are really making it this close to the main Ignasian kingdom, I would say. Or at least they'd be more located east.
That is for you to decide.
Okay. So I think at this point, I think my guy's reasonably smart enough that he would probably opt to just head to another island east. I think potentially Wind Peak, potentially head straight for the hub of pirate activity, because he's got nothing to lose, to be honest. Did I cut? Yeah, go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What were you gonna ask?
Did I arrive here on a boat, or was I put here?
You arrived here on a boat.
Okay.
Somebody dropped you off from the docks of Ingnasia.
Yeah, I thought they would.
They did give you a name for this fleet.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Dark Howler Fleet.
The Dark Howler Fleet.
Yeah.
And these two people, I'll ask the guy as well when he's rested a little bit. They've never heard of the Dark Howler Fleet.
Neither of them have heard of it now. But these two are not pirates. These two are maybe not
just
the
inhabitants.
best sources of pirate activity.
Oh no, of course. Yeah, it was more if they've been on this island for a long time. Good question actually, which I'll ask in a second. Potentially they know a lot of ships around here. How did you get here?
The human, I mean, eventually, after resting for a little while, he says, we walked, swam, came in from the beach on the northern shore.
So they swam from the bottom right all the way.
Yeah, they came between the islands. 1, 2,
wow,
3.
okay. Why?
Because nobody lives here, and there's lots of food here, and water, and nobody wants to live on the mainland anymore.
He'll sort of smirk. There's lots of food here, and they're emaciated. But he won't comment on it. What's wrong with the mainland?
He kind of laughs, and he looks at the tiefling, and she kind of laughs too. I mean, Ingnasia?
What of it?
They kind of look you over, and they exchange glances. They look hesitant to say anything more.
You can speak your piece here.
I mean, you just attacked us.
You drew on me.
You threw an egg at me.
Well, I spared your lives, did I not?
Yes. I mean, you know, like, obviously you're involved. It's, you guys like cities, and you like taking things from people, and that leaves nothing for the people who already had nothing. I never had anything, and Ingnasia, they took my house, and I had nowhere to go, and there's no food, and I couldn't find work, and unless I wanted to do what you do, no offense, but
He stands up and sort of scans the horizon again, or the way he came.
The sun is like almost down. 2 moons rising.
He looks back down at that guy and he'll chuck him the rest of the rations he brought with him. Too bad. Next time, try and kill with some honor. And he sort of casts a discerning look at the crossbows. Life's worth even that much. And he'll probably get up and move to head off back to sort of try and inspect the west coast again.
Good. You're heading back. The stars kind of coming out the night. You hear in your ear, and like it's coming from all directions. You hear,
Come. This way.
and to your right, you see wind moving through the jungle, clearing a path for you.
Okay, well, I'm definitely not going down. I'm definitely going down there.
Definitely gonna keep on walking.
Yeah, turn away and go home.
Cool.
I will again, as he always does, pulls out a hand axe. Actually, forgetting to pick up the one back there, but we can, of course, that will come at that later. And
Jog back.
go down. Yeah, yeah, and go down. They can have it. Actually, they can have it.
Okay.
And because I've still got the scimitar actually.
And there's other supplies in that lighthouse. There would be another axe too if you wanted to pick it up.
Yeah, it should be okay. And I will go down this enchanting path.
Okay. You kind of head down this, following this wind, this voice. Hear a few different whispers as you go. You hear,
Lord, it's time. I need your help.
and continue down, following this wind until a clearing comes ahead, which is almost seems like you're in the middle of the Isle of Merida now, where the jungle is the thickest. You wouldn't expect there to be a clearing like this. So it seems like the trees have been cleared away either by hand or by magic. In the middle of this clearing, there is a small stone temple. And despite it looking like decrepit and unused, you can still smell incense.
Okay, I'm heading in. If it's a temple, I would probably put my weapon away. Seems to be the right thing to do, and then I would head on in. And if there's a door, hesitate, look around, knock.
You knock on the door, and the door actually just creaks in as you do so. It's old and kind of falling apart. You can see inside the temple there are 3 rows of pews and an altar at the front, and 3 strips of red stained glass. And you can see engraved in the wall on top of these 3 strips of red stained glass is the symbol of Rhybohr.
Okay.
It's a forge.
Yeah. Okay. I would probably move towards the sort of very front of the temple, kneel down by the altar and pray. It's sort of in my head saying, instead of speaking out loud, actually no, I would speak out loud. You have summoned me.
A religion check with advantage.
Come on, baby. 18, thank God.
I sit before this altar, that strange smell of incense in your nose, and you kneel down in front of these symbols of Rhybohr, the setting sun and oncoming moonlight cascading through these red stained glass to put these 3 strips of red over your frame. Reach out. You hear this whisper again. You hear, yes, I have.
What do you require of me? I am your soldier, eternal.
You don't immediately hear anything back, but you feel your gaze being lifted to a door to the right of the stained glass, a small, skinny, arched doorway.
Okay. I would probably mutter a quick prayer of thank you before I opening my eyes and cast my hands, getting up, and move towards the doorway where my gaze has been directed.
You step closer to the door, and it's dark in here now because of it's dark outside, and there's no sources of light aside from the stained glass. So you really couldn't even see this doorway. It was kind of blending in with the stone here. You clear away some cobwebs to grab the iron handle of the door. You pull it, and it's locked.
I would probably pray again, close my eyes, and what do you require of me in order to open?
Immediately
One.
hear, break it, break it, break it.
Okay, in that case, I would probably grasp the handle, smile, and then just elbow, shoulder charge into it with complete excitement, I would say.
Okay.
At the and if that doesn't work, I would then start punching it, breaking it, maybe even headbutting it,
Okay.
if I can, just in a ferocious attempt to break through this door.
Make an athletics check.
19.
Yeah. You easily shoulder shove, and the door goes cracks open immediately. It slams against the stone wall on the inside and cracks. It's old wood. You come into like a curved room, like a sacristy, behind the altar. And it looks like almost a small office. There's a desk, some barrels and crates, and there's a couple things here. Make a perception check. Or investigation, your choice, because you're pretty close up.
I do perception. 13.
Couple things you can't miss here. You see thousands, hundreds and thousands of pieces of paper and envelopes, letters. And in the middle of the room, you see a body. Pretty much completely decomposed, almost entirely skeletal, but a bit of long auburn hair and some kind of moth-eaten robes still on the body.
Is there anything on the desk that's of interest? Maybe anything right before the skeleton?
There are... Make an investigation check now, as you take a closer look. And the perception.
15.
These letters are everywhere, these pieces of paper. As you kind of looking through them and trying to take a closer look at the desk, you notice immediately that they're all the same. They're all the
Okay.
same letter. And you sort through this stuff, and the desk has a small drawer. You pull it
Mhm.
open,
Mhm.
and there are supplies for stationery, ink, and
Mhm.
a holy symbol from Rhybohr,
Mhm.
and an empty glass vial as well.
Okay. I'll pocket the holy symbol and just quickly look at the body. I probably can't recognize who it might have been, can I?
Um, no, not from the body. The body is like it looks like it's pretty much a skeleton. There's a couple of teeth left, a couple of these long auburn hairs, and these robes, and that's pretty much all you can get from this body.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think in that case, I'll do one more quick scan of the room in case there's anything else that I've not missed, and then I will go and read the letter. I think.
Um, you hear, or just like
Hmm.
you hear, under the desk.
I'll look under that desk.
Okay. Under the desk, you find a leather black notepad,
Hmm.
a notebook diary, small pocket sized.
Hmm.
Um, it's like had been affixed to the bottom of the desk.
Hmm. Peel it off.
Take it off. It's some kind of a sticky, unidentifiable substance,
Mhm.
and you bring it towards you and small little leather pocketbook.
Flick through it quickly. See if anything's in it.
It looks to be a prayer book, mostly prayers directed towards Rhybohr, but
Hmm.
it also seems like there might be some magical incantations in here. You're not super
Okay.
familiar with magic.
Yeah. Sadly not. I would try and sort of memorize as much of it as I can, and then pocket. Actually, no, I'd give it a quick read all the way through, and then pocket it. Um, and then, are there any empty pieces of paper?
Yes, several.
Okay. Any ink, pen and ink?
Mm-hmm. Yep, in the desk.
Okay. I would take some out and then lay it down on the desk, and stand on the opposite side of it, facing the individual. Again, looking at my surroundings, and right on the piece of paper near the top. Um, where must I go? And then twist it, push it in front of the decrepit sort of husk of the individual. More just as a muse, and then probably look around the room, see if there's anything else that's
Okay.
any more hidden compartments or anything like that.
You write this note, kind of scrawl. What does Ulric's handwriting look like?
Um, poorly practiced formal handwriting, I would say.
Okay.
So it has a somewhat heavy flair to it, I would say.
You kind of scroll out this note. Where
Mm,
must I go? You
mhm,
stand back with your
mhm,
back against the stone wall. The altar, you can feel it behind you, the
mhm,
divinity from it.
mhm,
Red stained glass. Um, it's above you. You know you can feel that as well.
mhm, mhm,
And you toss out this paper, and from where you're standing now, the skeleton kind of laid out as in a horizontal parallel to the desk. Um,
mhm,
Underneath the body, you see at first one runic symbol light up, and then a circle of runic symbols light up with red
mhm.
underneath this body and just illuminate for a second. They kind of this give this glow, this just underneath the body. And it glows like that
Open.
with a dim red.
I'd probably check the body, see if there's anything there of interest.
Make an Arcana check. Let's just throw it out there.
Okay. A 6.
Okay. You know that this is probably magic in some way, though you have no idea what this is.
Okay.
And the body doesn't look any different. It's just that there's this red circle on the floor underneath it.
As in red from the
Yeah.
pane of glass.
Let me.
I would. Yeah, no, I think I'm with you. And then I would probably
No, not
hold
from the
up
pane of glass. Hang on, I'm going to draw you a diagram.
Fantastic.
Okay. Okay. This is just my stickman drawing. Okay, here's the desk. This is the body, right?
Yes.
And then there's this runic ring underneath the body.
Oh.
On the floor. On the floor.
Oh, fuck.
On the stone floor.
Yes,
Make sense?
yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a circle of runes. Am I in
Correct.
it? Am I in the circle?
You're right on the edge of it, where you're standing.
Oh, what could it mean? What could it mean? Can I step inside?
Sure can.
Mm-hmm.
You step over
inside.
the circle and
Mhm.
you hear, yes. But the circle underneath you dims. The light goes out. And you hear, not this way.
What would I make of that? What would I make of that? But yes, but not this way. Is there any other room in this temple?
Any other rooms?
Hmm.
You kind of do a bit of a scan. Seem to be any other rooms or doors.
And nothing's changed on the paper on the desk.
Just these thousands of letters. They're all the same.
And if I hold up the letter to the stained glass, does it reveal anything?
You hold up the letter to the stained glass and you kind of catch a glimpse of some of the words in the letter. It just provides a nice little warm red light that casts through the letter. Almost casts through the letter. It's pretty thick parchment.
Because I'm hesitant to move the woman. Can I go back in the room and see if I've missed anything on the walls or anything like that?
Go back into the room.
Yeah.
Take another look. Truly a little baffled by what's happening here. But, I mean, there's certainly a sense of peace as well. You don't find anything else.
No. And outside this temple is grass or stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try and pick up the body and bury it outside.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Sounds good. So you're gonna take. Do you have a shovel?
I've got
Got an axe.
an axe. Yeah, I could
Mm-hmm.
do that. Yeah. So what I'm planning on doing is taking her out, carrying her through, and then burying her outside, saying some words, coming back in, and clearing.
Are you
Yes.
digging the hole before you grab the body?
No.
Okay, so you're going to try to move the body first?
Yes.
Okay. You try to pick up the body, and
Mhm.
you hear, "What are you doing? Don't touch me."
And who are you?
You hear,
Oh. I'm going to try and break the circle.
okay? Like, how?
Just what is it made of? Is it chalk?
Yes, it's
Hmm.
written in chalk on this stone floor.
Hmm. So in this room, there's a stone circle with a body sitting in a chair in it,
The body
with
is
a
on the ground.
push on the ground and the desk in front.
Yeah. There's a chair, but it's knocked over.
Okay, I'm going to take out that book. Can I read from the book?
Sure.
Yes. Okay, that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to stand in the circle, get out the little book, and read as much as I can on the incantations from it.
Flip through the book.
Hmm.
Make a religion check.
Hmm. 5.
You read through this book, and you read through several prayers that are
Mhm.
about industry and progression and moving forward and the shining flame and the reign of the flame. Um, you read through them, and they're quite nice prayers. I mean, they have a certain poetic sense to them. You're not familiar with any of them. It seems like they are written by the person who wrote this. Um, Other than that, you just kind of have a nice session.
Um, what does it say on the letters again?
On the letters, you want to
Hmm.
read them?
Hmm.
So, in its entirety, it's quite long. I'm going to send you what it says.
Okay, for some reason, I thought I'd already read the letters, so
Yeah.
this must have been ridiculous. So I'm so sorry.
It's
Okay,
okay. And like
that's,
literally every one of you did the exact same thing in terms of forgetting about the letter or
yeah,
just like approaching things from behind type of thing.
yes, yeah.
I'm going to read it
Okay,
for you as
fantastic.
well.
Hmm.
Um, take your time to get it. It says, "I hope this reaches you." Hang on a second. It says, "I hope this reaches you. I ask you for your help because of your strength, either of physical or of character. I know your connections. Regardless, I do not have the time to write out a dozen letters at once, so I have pooled together a list of those I think have the will to help me. I have eyes within the world of the Ignasian Empire, and they have seen you. My name is Fanuil Launas. I'm a priestess of Rhybohr, and I praise the power of industry. Move forward. We must always move forward. That is what I offer you. Chance. Job. Simple but complex. Intricate yet general. If you are willing to take a risk, to live the life you have dreamed of, you must meet me at Port Surak after Proteus and Ymir complete 2 cycles. It's about 2 weeks. I will be ready for you there. Together. We can make Root Coast a better place. We can find solutions amongst even the unsolvable problems of war. Be cautious on your sail through the Ignasian Sea. Pirates have been spotted several times northeast of Port Surak. Of course, you would be a fool to go through the Red Depth. Should you decide to go forward with my task, I will arrange transportation for you back to the docks of Ingnasia. There have also been several storms caused by the dragon goddess Cadborough. She seems to grow angrier with each passing day. The gods are tumultuous. I may suggest not passing through the Parshire Highlands as well. I'm sure you're aware of the raging battles ongoing in Oitgau and in the Surak Mountains. Only pass through that way if you wish to be dead. You can pay for passage from Grok, but it will be very expensive with the Empire's influence there. Probably catch a cheap ride from Port Kila with the gulls. If you don't mind arriving covered in bird shit. Whatever manner you decide to come by, I will be staying at the Shaughnessy. Don't wear any identifying clothing. Ignasian, pirate, golden fangs. Keep it out of Port Surak unless you want your palms branded. Do not speak of this letter to anyone. Destroy it after you receive it. Please, I need your help. Fanuil.
And you see Ulric, as he's picking this up and reading it, a smile appearing wider and wider along his face as he finishes it, and he squeezes it tight in one hand, crumpling it completely, and he just looks up at the ceiling, smiling. I am ready.
Sounds good. You kind of reflect and feel this letter, and you have this moment where you feel like you are a part of it. That this letter and you are connected, and you have this feeling of other connections, threads from this letter, and you feel the weight of them. You're ready for your next steps. What would you like to do?
Yes. I think with that, I'm going to say, it mentioned, do I know where the Shaughnessy is?
Shaughnessy.
In Port Kilau.
It's in Port
Shaughnessy.
Surak. So
Port
she's...
Surak, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know the letter's kind of long. It takes a minute to
No,
get
it's fine.
She's calling you to come to Port Surak. She mentions a
Yes.
couple different places that you can like come from. You... Do you know this? Make a history check.
21.
Nice. You are aware of the Shaughnessy's existence. It was once a very popular inn in Port Surak. Port Surak notoriously has been fought over between Ingnasia and pirates for the last 1900 years. It's never been a settled place. The Shaughnessy has a reputation. You know a little bit of its reputation, that it is an inn where stuff goes down, where people want things to be secret because people don't want to be seen there.
Okay. And would I know Ingnasia has very little presence there?
Ingnasia has some presence there, but only meaningful presence. When they want to be there, then they are there. Right now, at this moment, you would know that there are some Ignasians there, basically trying to gain more power, building temples of Rhybohr on the western side.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. Okay. In that case...
And I will also tell you that when you're reading through this letter, you have heard the name Fanuil Launas before with your background.
Yes.
You're aware of this priestess of Rhybohr and kind of who she is, though you don't know much about her. She's got a bit of a mystery to her.
Okay. Is it a positive mystery or a...
Kind of on the neutral side. Just that she was a very devout priestess, but very much kept to herself.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, perfect. Well, that would be... I'd be very interested in that, especially since we're going to pirate activity. In that case, I will take another deep breath, smiling as I look around this little room. Maybe take another... I probably won't manifest back with me, but I'll take another letter, just because I've scrunched up my other one, and I'll drop that one. And as I'm at the door, I'll turn around and a small bow towards the deceased lady, and maybe even whistle a jaunty tune as I go back up to the altar, sit down, pray. Thank you, I won't let you down. And then I'll stand up, bask in the glowing crimson streams of light, and begin sort of very happily. All the weight of earlier seems to have fallen off my shoulders as I walk out the temple, and sort of head back into the jungle from where I came.
You head out of the temple and you give one last prayer, and there is another gust of wind now pulling you the opposite direction, out of the temple. And you walk out with kind of this newfound confidence and sense of adventure and curiosity. You make your way back to your small little hut, and we're going to montage some travel here, if you like. Which route
Absolutely.
would you like to take to get to Port Surak?
Just before we do that,
Sure.
if I'm at my little cabin bit for maybe a night or so, I'm assuming those two people may come back, and if they do, I want to fucking murder them, absolutely murder them. If they do come back and try and steal my food, just
The
fucking
bandits?
splatter. So yeah, just splatter their brains. So maybe that happened, maybe it didn't.
They don't come back.
Yeah, I think they probably would do. I would.
Why would they come back to you?
Steal my food.
Yeah, but yeah.
Because they might. Because they'll probably be like, oh fuck, he must have food for his entire stay here.
But they also know how that you almost killed one of them.
Yeah, very true, very true, very true. Maybe if I'm bored, I go hunt them down. So do I have safe passage back to the docks of Ingnasia?
So, because of your connections, you can send out a telegram if you like to
Yes,
get a
yeah.
ride. You could probably, even with your connections, get a ride directly to Port Surak.
I was going to say that. I'd send a message to my brother, who's working with the Knights of Rhybohr, and just keep him updated. Just say I've got a lead on pirate activity, and I'm heading to Port Surak to investigate it. And with that, yeah, I probably would use my Ingnasian influence, my insignia of rank been given, and find passage to Port Surak on Ignasian vessels for sure.
Okay. You send out a telegram, and you receive a response that they'll send a ship for you. And you wait. You wait like almost a week. And you find yourself kind of in the same state as earlier that day, where you start to pace and get restless. They don't give you a time that they're coming, and even though you send them messages, they don't respond. But eventually, an Ignasian ship does show up at the kind of northeastern side of the island. You're
Yeah.
able to see it because you get a good vantage point from your cliffside. And it is a massive ship. And it is made out of mostly wood with some Surakian steel accents.
Reinforcements.
It's called the Pound Maker.
Okay.
It has
Okay.
several cannons. It looks like it's not quite a warship, but could definitely be taken into battle if need be. And you sail across with several Ignasian sailors, as well as some other knights, knights of Rhybohr. You make your way towards Port Surak. You stop off in Wind Peak. Wind Peak is under control of Ingnasia at the moment, and they pick up
rightly
some
so?
supplies in Wind Peak. some
Fantastic.
crates. Yeah. And they head over to Port Surak, where some of these supplies are dropped off, and you pull into the docks. And it's raining when you approach in this massive Ignasian ship, and you can see from the ship as you approach Port Surak the eyes on this ship, and then the scattering of crowds as the Pound Maker approaches. People
Hell yeah.
running in the other direction, merchants closing up shops as the Pound Maker pulls up to the docks, and the plank comes down onto the docks.
Yeah. Ulric is definitely seeing this. He's definitely enjoying the second-hand strength of just being on the vessel. So he'll grin a little bit as he steps off.
He's grinning and kind of reeling in a bit of intimidation, proud stance. That is
Yeah.
where we are going to end our session.
Okay, fantastic. Very, very cool. Sorry, I was such a muppet about the letter. I'm trying, for a second, it felt like a comedy montage where I was just
It
like,
happens.
just trying to bury her. Yeah. I meant well though. I should have fucking slaughtered those poachers. I should have slaughtered them. But I let trying to do a good job. Trying to get information get in the way, but that was fantastic. That was really, really good
Yeah,
fun.
that was good.
And
It
then,
was really good. I'm glad that, like, I mean, things. I wasn't sure exactly what you were gonna do with the dinosaur situation, and um, yeah, I wasn't actually sure if Ulric was gonna be the type to help the
yeah,
dinosaur, or if he was gonna just,
or
be like,
just
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then, yeah,
No, I think it's hard. I think I would have to play a character who is like dead set on being nasty to like.
yeah,
But I think because Ulrich likes animals as well. He spent a lot of time around them, so I think and he hates bows. Fucking hates bows.
yeah. I noticed
Um,
the comment that you made about the to like kill people with honor and like hit the crossbows. I
mm,
was like, doesn't like the
yeah,
bows.
ranged weapons, no. But no, that was really good fun. Really good fun.
Yeah.
I think what I would do with Ulrich in future as well is hesitate less. I think even if it's a terrible decision, I think hesitation would be the death of that character
You think he's
because
more of an impulsive guy?
I would say so, yeah. Especially with violence, I would
Yeah,
say he's
maybe.
definitely more impulsive. I think but it felt really cool being a marshal and like playing it to its absolute limits with
Yeah.
running and grabbing the weapon. That shit I think was so much fun.
Yeah.
I like that. It
I
feels so much
love the
more.
improvised weapon too. The fucking egg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The egg was. I was thinking of eating it, but I thought no, I'd throw it just in case the other one tries to shoot me
Definitely
as a
never done an
distraction.
improvised weapon with a hard-boiled egg before.
Yeah, that was cool though. That was really cool. I
Yeah.
love that. Oh,
Yeah.
that was good fun. And I guess this is where everyone. I want to learn more about branding because I think Ulrich's the kind of guy that, even though he hate like his family are arseholes, he has no real reason to dislike Ingnasia as a whole. So he potentially would accept a branding.
Yeah?
But we will see. Yeah, but that might play terribly. Later on, but I kind of like that idea. I think he probably would because he's stubborn as well.
Yeah.
But the voice as well. I need to drink a lot of water when I'm doing that.
Actually, the voice cracks though. That kind of makes it like even more
Yes, yeah,
realistic. Like it's good. I mean, when you first started, I was like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to like
yeah.
maintain serious conversation." But I got a little bit more used to it as we
You
went
get
on.
used to it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think so. I think so. That was sick. So when you think is it a week on Wednesday
Yeah. So
for
yeah, the
session
first
one? Yeah.
session will be next Wednesday. So we'll see if we have time for the last player's one shot. Thanks, Darth
Yeah.
Matter. Appreciate you being here, and we appreciate the positivity. We love positivity. And
Oh,
can
awesome!
you see the
As a reviewer.
chat? Yeah, he said your voice was
Uh,
adorable.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, I love
Take a
the
look.
dichotomy of this big, huge knight with this.
Very high pitched voice.
Yeah.
I think it'll be because there will come a time where one of the players will be like, "Well, we live in a fantasy world. Why just not pay for healing, magical
Yeah.
healing? Because that would fix the thing right up." And I think I know what how I'll handle that. 'Cause I think it's a very crucial part of my character.
It'll probably be something that comes up for sure. Something
yeah.
to think about how he would react to that type of thing, like now versus whatever happens in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that was good fun. Okay. What are your plans for the rest of the day then? Anything interesting?
I'm going to Buffalo Point tomorrow, so I got to prepare for. My dad has a cabin at this place.
Oh, very
it's
nice.
like it's right on the Manitoba, Ontario, United States border. So it has like 3 borders. You can on the lake you can see across to the American border,
awesome.
which is kind of a cool spot. So I'm going there tomorrow. I got to pack for that stuff.
Pack for that. Absolutely, yeah, I can imagine. Right, I won't keep you any longer because I'm
going to end the stream. Goodbye, stream. We'll be here.
Bye,
next
stream.
week.
See you next week.
Yeah.